Things you didn't know in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. You can fuse a battery to your weapon or shield and then charge that battery with a shock emitter outside of shrines. This is especially useful when catching fish. All you have to do is swim up to them with a fully charged battery, it'll kill them off and you just have to pick them up. If you see a bunch of birds circling above some water, that usually means that there is a school of fish directly below them in that water. You can save the electric turbine that you find in Gemmimix Shrine to your auto build and use it for all kinds of cool builds outside of the shrine. You can plant a giant bright bloom seed to the front of your hover bike and light up the area around you as you're flying through the depths. You can shield surf down any rail in the game. This is especially useful if you don't feel like using a minecart. You can save the giant rock bombs from the Marble Goma fight to your auto build and use them outside of those boss fights. You can use Dazzle Fruit to instantly kill any skeleton enemy in the game outside of the Stalnox. The most efficient way to do this is to fuse one onto a Forest Dweller sword, that way you don't waste a bunch of Dazzle Fruit. You'll know if a Kisai is within range and locked onto a target if it starts pulsating. If it's not, it'll fire just like a normal arrow. If you fuse a Motobud onto the Master Sword and use the Master Sword's light beam, you can confuse multiple monsters from range. Confusing a Battle Talus will cause it to throw all monsters off of its back and it'll make it an easier target to take down. And to make things even easier, you can ascend through a Battle Talus to get to its weak spot much faster. Lionels are extremely weak to Muddlebuds as well. You can repeatedly stun them when jumping off of its back and firing Muddlebuds into the back of its head. This honestly makes them extremely easy to take down and gives them basically no chance to fight back. You can solve any missing stone Korok puzzle by fusing a stone onto your weapon and walking into that empty spot. It makes solving these puzzles so much faster. You can parry just about anything in the game, including fire thrown at you from a Lionel or even a Gleeok. If you ever accidentally fall off the side of a sky island, don't panic. All you need to do is shoot a hoverstone directly below you, land on that hoverstone, and then build you something to get you back up to that sky island. Fusing Icy Meat to your shield allows you to shield surf just about anywhere in the game. This is the best mode of transportation outside of the hover bike. Fusing a dragon part onto your hover bike or basically anything else in the game prevents it from despawning at extremely long distances. Using this trick will save you so much Zonite and Zonite devices as you go around and unlock every single light route in the depths or even every shrine on the surface. Recalling a thrown weapon can do a ton of damage without actually breaking that weapon. It's not really that practical, but you know, it's pretty fun to do, so why not? You can Ultra Hand any part of a Flux construct, which makes them extremely easy to take down. All you have to do is Ultra Hand its weak spot or pull off 6 blocks in total and it'll fall apart and you can make quick work of the boss. If you see a cherry blossom tree, run up to it and place some fruit on the altar under the tree. Satori, Lord of the Mountain, will appear and highlight all of the caves in the area. If you see a Bloopy out in the wild, follow it. It will lead you to a cave, or you could shoot it and take its lunch money. If you see one of these flags in a cave, make sure you take a look around. That flag means there is really rare loot somewhere in that cave. Nearly every well that you see in the game is connected to some sort of cave. Some wells are even connected to each other through those caves. You can stun enemies during the day by fusing a mirror to your shield. Just make sure you're in a well-lit area. You can bait fish and lure them to you by dropping certain types of food in the water. Dropping pine cones in a fire will create a massive updraft that you can use. The more pine cones that you throw in, the higher the updraft will be. A Lozalfo's tail acts like a whip, and if you fuse one onto your weapon, it will give you a greatly increased range on your attacks. Every bargainer statue located in the depths will actually have a large Hylia statue located directly above it on the surface or on a sky island. Every shrine on the surface has a light route located directly below it in the depths, and if you look a little closer, you'll also notice that the name of the light route is actually the name of the shrine that it's connected to spelled backwards. You can actually use bombs to activate targets and shrines. Fusing a dragon spike to your weapon will create a really cool elemental effect. And there you have it, that's everything that you didn't know in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Which ones did you know? Is there anything that I missed? Let me know in the comments.